Hello, fabulous Sagittarius. Welcome to your horoscope for the month of June 2016, Love Focus. I am your astrologer, Nadiya Shah. Thank you for being here. In the context of love, what a big month it is for you. And there's a lot happening and there's a lot of learning taking place thanks to another person. And the learning actually starts before this month begins, and it just accelerates thanks to a new moon that takes place in the first half of the month. So what starts the love lessons? Well, a part of it is the fact that we're going to have a full moon in your sign before this month even begins. And that is going to start to bring to your awareness some of the things that you feel, frustrations, doubts, and what it is that your heart is truly feeling, what truth it is that you know has been coming on, you know has been hanging in the air, but you haven't been fully able to either pinpoint it or willing to acknowledge it. This is where it has already begun to be right there, clear in front of your face. But what to do about it? There's still that hope as you are entering this month that you can actually take what it is that you're realizing and allow it to lend itself to some bright and bold new beginnings. So some of that may have already been initiated, some of that effort. Beautiful thing. Now what is taking place as we enter this month is a mix, but it can be a beautiful mix. We have a new moon happening, and this new moon is having all kinds of conversations with all kinds of power players in the sky. But suffice it to say, it's a big moment for you in the context of love. It's a new moon, so it is a fresh start, but there is a lot of uncertainty around this new moon. There's a sense of confusion. There's a sense of allowing inspiration and faith to guide you when the truth can seem more challenging to embrace, more challenging to accept. There is, with this particular sky, the need to be mindful of, and I will always be frank with you, I'll always be upfront with you, and I'm sorry to say, but with this particular new moon, there is the possibility of some not seeing things clearly. Now, some of this may be not intentional, right? It might be you who sees what you choose to see. For others, it may be that the other person is being sincere, but there are some major factors that are being overlooked, that are not being acknowledged, and it may not even be conscious on their part, or it may be more active, it may be more conscious that there is some deception taking place. Because this is taking place in your opposite sign, there is that potential that this is going to play out in partnerships, and particularly is going to play out in love for you more than it might for other signs. But even with that, this particular new moon is speaking with Jupiter on one side, Neptune on the other side, and then Saturn in your sign. And so you are, in this configuration, it is you that is the bearer of truth, you that is the bearer of reality. And if you're able to ground yourself in that reality, then you will be able to understand what truth is playing out, and especially what is your truth playing out in any given situation. And as I look at this, there is a suggestion here that your events that take place now, where it has to do with other people, and particularly where it has to do with love, are going to have somewhat of a sweeping effect on many areas of life. And what that means is that you may have an attraction and it brings up and kicks up some very strong feelings within you. And that shows you something about where it is that you are in every area of life, what you believe in love, what you believe about other people, what you really want to do where it comes to your career, what it is that you truly desire to achieve, what type of relationship is really worth having. I mean, these are the types of big changes that can take place when we have a sky as active as this. Those of you born smack dab in the middle of your sign are going to experience this new moon more than most, but everybody of your sign out there and everybody out there will be experiencing this energy of wanting to begin, but not being clear, being given information, not being accurate and having it take you in the opposite direction that you truly desire to go. And because you've got Saturn in your sign, that's going to ensure that what you learn strengthens you and that you are able to stay grounded, as everyone else might be a little bit more caught up in other energies of wanting to be swept away, of wanting to be in a more fantastical place. It's you that will be able to have your feet solidly on the ground and will in turn be able to benefit most from your attractions and your experiences in love, and benefit in many different areas of life. If you are in an established bond, this speaks that much more strongly for you with this new moon early in the month. So keep in mind that it may be that your partner says something, and it doesn't have to be that they're, being deceptive or keeping something from you that you should know. It may not be something like that at all. It might be that they're trying to save face, or that they don't want to fully explain or fully get into something that would be hurtful for them or would affect their pride, or something along those lines, something more innocent than being actively deceptive or keeping something from you that you would very well need to know. But that is also a possibility. So a lot is going to depend on, one, what's happening in your unique birth chart. But another part of this is going to depend on where the relationship has brought you to thus far. Those of you who are open to meeting someone new, it is important for you to have eyes wide open. It's not going to be clear who this person is. And so you just want to make sure, and especially if this is somebody that you're meeting online, the sign before yours, or Scorpios, and for you out there, it is very important, any online connections that are made, that you are ensuring that you're talking to who you think you're talking to, and that you're being mindful of any kind of like financial requests being made of people very early on. These are situations you're going to want to be mindful of. But the amazing thing is that this is just sort of a brief moment. And then the energy changes again, and we get to the later part of the month, and this full moon takes place. It is supremely harmonious to Uranus, and Uranus right now in a part of the sky that has to do with heart. It has to do with flirtation. It has to do with love, like real love. And having this speak with a full moon in your sign speaks volumes about the sense of freedom and possibility and open-heartedness that you feel in the context of love. And what this tells me is that whatever transpires in the early part of the month, whatever uncertainty may be there, and for a small percentage of you out there, there might even be some hurt feelings of feeling like it wasn't completely clear as you might have liked it, it wasn't completely honest as you may have preferred it. It may be that you're talking to somebody and you're very interested in them and you think that they're flirting with you, then it turns out that that wasn't the case after all. Could be one scenario. Could turn out that they absolutely were flirting with you when they shouldn't have been. Could be that they absolutely were flirting with you and wanted more when they were in a whole other situation as well. Like, these are some scenarios that can play out with a new moon like this, and yet you gain from your experience, and yet you understand more clearly what love is and who you are and what truth in your heart you're ready to not only accept but celebrate thanks to the experiences that you have. So it may be one of these situations, less than ideal, but then it helps you to realize that you can accept love and that you're capable of love and that you want that in your life. It helps you to understand where you've been putting up walls or barriers to the type of love that you require, and it helps you to enjoy the process of living and of love. It helps you to enjoy the prospect and the excitement of maybe meeting somebody new, of making it something enjoyable, making it a game. It helps you to realize that life is to be celebrated and that love is a part of that celebration. What I love about this month for you in the context of love is all the activity taking place. So what that means is lots will be happening. And what that means is there will be at least one other person from whom you can learn some of these very valuable lessons. And what that means is you are going to slowly come not only to see yourself, but see things that you like, things that empower you, things that liberate you. You will see yourself more clearly and more lovingly. thanks to your experiences, thanks to the experiences that only love can provide.